Well, with all due respect to my predecessor, she is one of the main culprits of the greatest cover-up and scandal in American history. She took the podium every day and lied to the press about the incompetence of her boss. And on this book tour, she continues to lie. She said this past week that Joe Biden would still be up for the job if he had, God forbid, been reelected in November. She actually said this week as well on a podcast that Joe Biden did more press engagements than President Trump currently does now. Any person across the aisle can tell you that is a bald-faced lie.
It's deplorable. And I'm using that word on purpose.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem to understand, this is the Trump White House, that they don't work for just one man.
Yeah.
They work for the American people. The White House press secretary is not about doing online trolling.
Right.
It is not. It is an honor and a privilege to have that job.
And I will just add, when you talk to the real journalists, not the ones who are actually activists that pose as journalists, but the people who actually care about truth, and there are some of those left in the White House press corps, I work with them every day, they will tell you the Trump White House is the most accessible and transparent White House ever. Not only does the president take questions from the press on a near daily basis, multiple times per day, as he did today, but we also provide truthful and accurate information about what this administration is doing and accomplishing. And it's a stark contrast to what they had over the past 4 years, where they were gaslit.
Now I want to talk about KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, remember, the spokesperson for Joe Biden, the one who, despite the fact that he was falling up the stairs and falling apart before our very own eyes, was still saying this from the podium of the White House.
Instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos.
Deep fakes, you remember all of the videos. I won't show them to you again. They're already in your brain. And remember when the meltdown happened at the debate, he's still completely fine.
Every year that he has had this exam, he sees a neurologist. And just to give you a quote from that, from the report most recently in February, an extremely detailed neurological exam was again reassuring in that there were no findings which would be consistent with any cerebellar or other central neurological disorders.
Come on. Well, of course, because she was the first woman of colour, the first person, the first lesbian to hold the position. She was a historical figure, which means somebody's given her money to write a book. The book contains, in the excerpts that have just been released, reported by Fox News, her reaction to Biden's decision not to run again after the meltdown and eventually, of course, being pushed out by Pelosi, George Clooney and the rest of them. Biden seemed to be totally at peace with this decision, but I was stunned. My feelings a blur. I was angry and sad. I was enraged and heartbroken that this man had given more than 50 years of his life to serving the American people, and in the end he'd been treated poorly by the members of his own party. It was horrible. So, what's next for this incredible wordsmith, the author of the deep fake theory? Now the cloud of unease hovering over me solidified into the idea of how I could possibly do something different. How I could channel my disappointment into some kind of concrete action that would allow me to fight for what I believe in without giving blind loyalty to a party I felt no longer deserved it. Pierre writes, you know what? I'm going to become an independent. I don't think I can stomach being in the Democratic Party anymore, which is an incredible quote to be putting out as one of the great revelations of the book, when the entire book is in the cover. You can judge this one by the cover. The great revelation is the hardcore Democrat is now an independent, and deepfakes never existed. Oh, that's my bit. I don't care what she thinks about that.